With Sonic Superstars releasing in less than a week, the game has, predictably, broken street data and also been leaked. Because of this, a lot of Sonic fans got their hands on the game, being able to share their experiences and thoughts on the game. So in today's video, we're going to be taking a look at a lot of people's thoughts on the game so far. Now just a heads up, there will be no spoilers at all in this video, so you don't have to worry about that. So, without any further ado, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, let's take a look at the thoughts at hand. Onto Twitter with Sonic Rush. Actually, hang on, just before we carry on with the video. Something tells me that you're not subscribed. How do I know that, you ask? Well, look at this. Are you seeing that right now? Most of the people watching this video right now aren't subscribed. What's going on with that then, eh? Press that subscribe button right the hell now because, you know, just saying, Sega was telling me that if you don't subscribe right now, they ain't releasing that Unleashed port. Okay, they didn't actually say that, but come on man, you should still subscribe right now. You won't regret it. Trust me. Anyways, I'll stop bothering you now, so on with the video. So first we have a tweet from Jubbalub. I played the first two zones of Sonic Superstars because I have no self-control. Thoughts. The game really wants you to explore. Physics aren't quite exact, but they're really damn close. This game is not afraid to trial and error your ass. Bonus and special stages are really good. So it's basically sounding like it's going to be a combination of CD and 3 and Knuckles type level design. Because CD was very explorative and yeah, that's why I kind of dislike it, to be honest. Now in terms of the physics, yeah, this is no surprise really. Because Sonic Superstars is a 2.5D game, the physics were never going to be completely one-to-one with the classic Sonic games. There are just too many quirks and problems that can actually go wrong in 2.5D, but with what we've seen so far, yeah, the physics are not bad at all. They're pretty darn good, to be honest, very good. Then we have more of the physics right here. So before the Knight says, I think the physics thing might just be placebo. It's possible. The only thing I really thought was off was acceleration while jumping. I think that's a little low. Or it could be a placebo, that's totally possible. Or more accurately, the air drag was a little too strong. So it seems like the rolling and everything is fine, it's just the controls in the air, which is interesting to say the least. Our next tweet here from 12switcheroo, me early today. I'm wondering why we haven't seen any Sonic Superstars previews. Also me right now, fine, I'll draw myself, and yeah, you can see right there they have the game early. Then we see some of their thoughts right here. Thoughts after 3 hours and 5 zones. Feels like a 3D Sonic Mania. Level design is really good so far. Sonic Mania is still a better game. Camera can be a bit clunky in multiplayer. Runs well on Switch. 60 FPS, but with hiccups and loading times. Day 1 patch fix maybe? 8 out of 10. And to be honest, this is kind of what I expect with Sonic Superstars, to be honest with you. Feels like a 3D Sonic Mania. It's got decent to good level design, but Mania is still a better game. That's really what I'm expecting with Superstars, to be honest. And I also expected multiplayer to have a lot of issues, especially with that camera, because 4 people going at the speed of sound in a 2.5D Sonic game, that was never going to end well, let's be real. And then with the Switch, yeah, I can definitely understand those loading times, because from the demo footage we've seen, for example, from Troctopus, yeah bro, those loading times, holy moly. From Act 1 from Speed Jungle to Act 2, my god, those loading times are actually atrocious. But hey, 60 FPS though, that is actually pretty impressive. I mean, Frontiers didn't do it, not Colors Ultimate, not Forces, so having a 2.5D Sonic game in 60 FPS on a Switch, you know what, that's not half bad. Respect to them for that. Then here we have some thoughts on the flip side of the coin. So we have someone saying that Superstars is apparently bad, and then Mad Revision says, I saw the second half of it being streamed last night, and it just doesn't look fun, I'm sorry. The level design is straight up boring and everything else is a mixed bag. I don't like the majority of the music and the graphics are blech. See, I just like Frontiers, Mania. Someone was streaming the entirety of Sonic Superstars, I think it was last night or something like that, and then yeah, the stream got taken down obviously, but people who saw the stream said that the game has some issues, like some glaring issues, but it still looked decent. But this person right here is saying that the level design looks boring, and you know what? I find that believable. I've been saying this a lot, but Superstars level design just seems very in a lot of places. Bridge Island is probably the strongest zone so far, which is kind of sad because of the opening zone, but after that, Speed Jungle, I'd say there's a lot of interesting gimmicks with the rail grinding or whatever, but it just feels a bit too automated. Then Pinball Carnival Act 1, from what we've seen, it looks very, very boring. Like, very boring, a very basic casino stage. Then the gimmicks that we've seen in the Cyber Station zone, that does look interesting, but apart from that, we haven't actually seen much of that. But yeah, overall, Supercell's level design seems pretty boring and a bit basic in places, so this isn't surprising me. But then the music being, you know, not great. We're going to hear a lot more on that later on in the video, so just beware of that. And then the graphics being bleh, I can understand that, but I don't think they look terrible, to be honest. It looks fine. I think the big problem is the backgrounds, really. Just very empty in a lot of places. Right, here we go. J-dubbing the flesh. Sonic Superstars leaked earlier and the music sounds like ass. Then Zungenda asks, how much music? It's mainly the boss music. No idea if it was Act 1 or Act 2. That sounded bad. Some songs sound okay, but it's mostly mid. If Sonic 4 was a dumpster fire, musically, this is like a normal dumpster. Now, we did get some battle mode music from the official Sonic the Hedgehog YouTube channel, and yeah, it sounds very Sonic 4-y. And essentially, you know that music that we're hearing from that all-speed jungle gameplay with the boss? Obviously, the White Park music, that was obviously a placeholder, but that boss music is not actually a placeholder, by the way. That is actually in the game right now. And I just want to put this out there. I don't actually hate Sonic 4's soundtrack. I actually do think it's pretty decent. I like it a lot. But the difference between Sonic 4 and the Superstars Jun Sonoe Sonic 4-y sounding songs is the fact that the ones in Superstars don't really have that great compositions. Like, they're very basic and very forgettable. Like in Sonic 4 you had Mad Gear, Lost Labyrinth, Splash Hill. Then from episode 2 you had White Park Zone, Death Egg Mark 2, Sky Fortress, all bangers to be honest. But when I listen to the Sonic Superstars, like battle mode music or whatever, it just sounds really forgettable and just, like I would not listen to that music at all, apart from just in the game when I'm forced to listen to it. Like I'm gonna admit right now, here and there, I do actually kind of listen to the Sonic 4 soundtrack outside of the game because, you know, sometimes I listen to moves from Sonic 4. Why not? Like, I'm in the mood for it. But with this Sonic Superstars battle mode music and what people are saying, that's not the case at all. Like, I don't know, man. It's not my cup of tea, really. It's mainly that they keep using Sonic 2 and fake Genesis sounds for the instruments, when it would sound so much better if it was a normal instrument like Sonic CD or something. Now, there's something very interesting relating to this, what this person said right here, later on in the video, so just stick around for that, because it's actually very interesting. So here we have a tweet from Common Twitter. Street saying Superstars is mid. Then the man himself, the true Brendan, goes and says, really, I've heard nothing but praise. The only mid thing I've heard is some of the music. Someone said that the level design was like Mania, but worse. Another said something about it being straight up bad, which is concerning. I've heard the level design is like Mania, but watered down. You know how the new Super Mario Bros. Games have more open but a little watered down levels compared to the DS one, because they were made for multiplayer in mind? It's like that. It's not bad though, they look super fun. Now, this is kind of what I was afraid of. I don't think they should be sacrificing the level design in a Sonic game, especially a 2D one, because of multiplayer. Because I think that's where the basicness of Sonic Superstars comes into play here. It's because of the multiplayer, really. Like, they're really pushing multiplayer to be a huge part of Sonic Superstars, and while that is kind of a cool thing, to be honest, I'm actually really looking forward to doing a playthrough of it with some friends, but if it means that the level design is going to be sacrificed because of it, I don't think it was going to be the right move to do that, to be honest. I think they could have just stuck with the battle mode and just left that alone. I think that would have been fine, to be honest. Right then. Now we have some leaked music. Now don't worry, it's not from any of the new zones, but this is actually an unused version of Bridge Island Act 1 that I've heard already. But there's a twist to it. So we see right here from Mastered Realm. Included with the many music files in Sonic Superstars, there's an unused version of Bridge Island Act 1. It's said demo Jun Sonoe composed / arranged, and while it is Sonic 4 sounding, it's still very cool. So I'll play a bit of it right now. Now this is actually very interesting, so this means that the theory that Sonic Superstars soundtrack was composed by Jun Sonoe, but then T. Lopez was brought on to probably just touch up the music a bit, is kinda true then, I suppose. Because comparing Jun Sonoe's version to T. Lopez's version, yeah, T. Lopez's sounds a lot more modern and Mania sounding, whereas June went with the Sonic 4 again for some reason. And it is a real shame, to be honest, because if they could do it for Bridge Island Act 1, why not all the other Sonic 4-y sounding songs? Like, that would have been great. Because that's the thing with Jun Sonoe. He's a great composer, but in terms of implementation with the classic Sonic sound font, he's not the greatest, I'm going to be real with you. But with T. Lopez's magic, that could have actually just transformed all of his mid-sounding songs into pretty decently sounding ones at least. But sadly that wasn't the case for most of the soundtrack from what it sounded like, but oh well, I mean, not much we can do about it now, right? It's a big shame, man, a big shame. Now here we have Slayer Ephemeral saying this is interesting. Then they show this part of a Famitsu article on Sonic Superstars. Furthermore, according to Famitsu, the main campaign of Sonic Superstars will last approximately 24 hours, which becomes 31 by completing all the collateral activities. A 2D Sonic game being 24 hours to beat? Come on, like, you're joking, right? Like, there's no way. And Games Cage, obviously Fidel has gone and confirmed that because he's saying, I don't know what crack they were smoking, and he's actually played the game, by the way. He's got a review up on the channel right now, so yeah, he's played the game, and yeah, from what I've been hearing, the game is about 4 hours. So that's typical for a 2D Sonic game, I'd say. 4 hours on your first time, yeah, it makes sense. Then we have J-Dub in the flesh back again, and this time he's actually beating the game, so played and beat Sonic Superstars. Pirated and Yuzu, because this game ain't worth $60. I've already given Sega $105 in the last month over Yakuza. It's the most mediocre mid-platformer ever. I came in open-minded, yet ended up disappointed. Then they had like a whole massive thread about the entirety of their thoughts on the game, and I didn't read it because I didn't want to, you know, encounter any spoilers, but we have some thoughts on the level design right here, more in detail. It's just really boring. Because I can see the most average Sonic level design, or some really gimmicky stuff that isn't fun and slows down the pacing. This isn't really a sense of flow outside the first two zones that were actually pretty decent. And yeah, honestly, that's really what I've been hearing. Bridge Island and Speed Jungle have been probably the strongest zones in the game for what I've been hearing from a lot of people. Though I've been hearing of some pretty good stages sprinkled throughout the rest of the game after those two zones, so that is giving me a bit of hope, thankfully. But yeah, overall, Sonic Superstars level design, as expected, is very basic and kind of boring at times. It's not as good as Mania, and not as good as 3 Knuckles from what I've been hearing too, so yeah, Superstars level design, as expected again, a bit of a shame really, but oh well, it's just alright, nothing truly amazing. Now we got one more thing to talk about, and it's not really anything big in terms of leaks, but it's from the official Sonic the Hedgehog Twitter account. Heads up, just a reminder that you can sign up to receive the classic redefined look for Amy and Sonic Superstars. For Steam users, this offer is only available from the 10th of October to the 24th, so be sure to act fast. I don't know why Steam users are kind of getting robbed with this. I'm very confused on that. Why is that a thing? I don't know. But yeah, if you're on PC right now and want to get the modern Amy skin for Sonic Superstars, then be sure to act quick because yeah, time is ticking, man. It's ticking. Anyways, yeah, that was it for this video. So Sonic Superstars has been leaked, Broken Street Day, and people's thoughts have come out, and yeah, it's just seeming pretty average. It's really on like a 7 to 8 out of 10 game, which is again what I expected. That's not really a bad score though, it's not bad at all. So don't be fooled, that's not a bad score at all. Sonic Superstars seemed like a good game. But it is a shame that the level design was kind of butchered a bit. It's a real shame. And then with the music too, yeah. Superstars' two biggest problems right now from what I can see is 1, music, and 2, level design. Those are the biggest two things hurting the game. But what do you guys think of this info? Are you still hyped for Sonic Superstars with 5 days remaining? Or even 4 actually, goddamn. Or does this info kinda reduce your hype levels a bit? Let me know down below. Love to see what you guys have to say. I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, especially that last one. Don't forget to become Unleashed, which is that join button down below. Remember, it's not necessary. And I'll see you all next time. Peace!